Welcome to day 69 of my spiritual journal with your soul sister, Iona, host of the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast and founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. So today in my world is Spiritual Freedom Saturday. So every single day on the Soul Legacy TV, I go live talking about freedom in your light work and your lifestyle. So you're not busy, being broke, or no, not doing busy work, being broke, or experiencing burnout as a light worker, because we want you shining your light in the world like a beacon of light. So this spiritual journal I do every single day, talking about all things, all practices that are spiritual and elevating and supporting you in raising your vibration. So when we raise your vibration, we're raising the vibration of the planet and of the collective. So who doesn't want that? So today, if you haven't got anything to journal with, then I do say with my spiritual journal with me, journal along with me. So I have my notebook. It's called the Soul Legacy Journal, and I call it 365 Days of Your Spiritual Awakening Story. And I also call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. You know how when you go on that spiritual awakening journey, dark night of the soul, it's rude. Then I don't know, you might have journaled. You might have done some visualization, you might have done some spiritual practices, you might have done all the things. So we pull all the things, all the spiritual practices together in our spiritual journal, and we journal on each area of your light work and your lifestyle so that we can have that harmony and that balance, and you can show up, speak out, and serve deep in ease, grace, and flow. So today, and every single day, to be fair, I'll pull a card. There's one card today. There's been a couple of cards jumping out for us. Keepers of the light. Love that. The message today is right on point for spiritual freedom. Talk about gratitude, my gratitude stone, how to do that with intention. I love the gratitude. Got my little chakra crystal amethyst. Speaking of chakras, I'll talk about Robin not in a second, and who's joining us. Thank you, Robin, for joining us. We'll rate our vibration, how you're feeling, that starting point for today. And I'll talk about a book that, do I have a quote for today? A book that I've been reading called, or listening to, it's an audible book, called Your Psychic Pathway, Listening to the Guiding Wisdom of Your Soul by Sonia Choquette. So every single day on the Soul Legacy TV, in my spiritual journal, and I invite you to journal along with me, and just bring in some spiritual practices and follow through on your spiritual practices and be held accountable for raising your own vibration, maintaining your vibration while you do your work out in the world, while you do your work in your spiritual business online, while you build your spiritual YouTube channel, while you write your book, do your course, all the things, while you're serving, just actually making sure that you're taking care of yourself. So what was I going to say? The quote for today. Oh, yeah, the quote for today is a big quote for today. So I'm going to start with that. So Robin is here with us. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I've been doing this all day. I just went out to the shops because it's Saturday night, right? And I'm about to have some wine, as you do. I haven't had any for a little while, I don't think. I can't remember. Anyway, it used to be like Friday. Yeah, it's Friday, 1 o'clock, and I don't tend to do that anymore. But I went out, I went to go get some wine, some snacks, and I had my earphones in one ear, and I sneezed, and I thought I heard a bless you. I looked round, and a guy in the car was like, bless you. It was only young, and I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, oh. So I've been sneezing and not really realizing for allergies. I thought I had my my comment up there, and apparently it didn't share it. So Robin says, hey. Robin says, yes to raising our vibration. Absolutely. Robin says, I need to grab my, why is it not showing your comment? I need to grab my journal, left it on the table. Got it. Cheers. You're welcome. All right, I don't know, the comments have been funny. Right, okay. So if you don't know, and you're new to the Soul Legacy TV, then Robin Knott of the Energy Healing TV podcast is actually our lead soul guided instructor. I like to say my lead soul guided instructor. I'm like, she's mine. But she's not. She's our lead soul guided instructor for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network and the Soul Legacy Academy. Like she's mine, she's mine, she's mine, she's mine. So she's ours because we have to share that energy. So Robin talks about on her YouTube channel every single day, talks about the energy healing lifestyle and clearing your energy, because it's Spiritual Freedom Saturday, and we know that we're souls having a human experience, right? But in the human experience, sometimes it gets a little bit funky, sometimes it gets a little bit heavy, and sometimes you feel blocks, and sometimes your energy just feels a little bit low, might not always be high vibe. And so Robin will support you in clearing your energy, balancing and aligning, even balancing, but aligning the 7 main chakras that are aligned with the spine, so that you can be the best version of you, be the best you, is what Robin says, and do your work in the world as a light worker. And if you're an empath and you're feeling all the feelings of everybody else, or you're in tune and you're following your intuition, but sometimes you're like doubting it, or all the things, Robin will support you and help you out with all the things in alignment. Sometimes when we have blocks, they feel like an invisible barrier. Then I will talk about the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge and how that is. Robin's bringing, well, we are both bringing, Robin explains it really well about bringing the energy, spiritual energy, to money. So Robin also has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge, a self-love journey to financial freedom for light workers and empaths. Well, thank you, Robin. All right, let's rate our vibration, shall we, before we do the quote for today. So Spiritual Freedom Saturday, I'm feeling like I've been recording for hours today, and I didn't expect to record for that long for day 1 of my 5-day YouTube from scratch challenge that goes with my book, re-recording it, I should say. And I'm like, dude, I expected to hit and knock so many recordings out, and I'm just like, do you know what, I'm tired. So, which happens very rarely for me. Because I'm so high vibe, and I'm like, do you know what, I'm kind of done. I'm gonna get some wine, I'm gonna get in the bath, might do some mind maps, probably won't actually right about now, and I'm gonna watch Love Island, which I don't own a TV, it's my daughter's television. I usually watch it with her, and she's out, and I'm still gonna watch it, I'm just saying. So let's rate our freedom frequency. Thank you for the shout out. You're welcome, love. You're welcome. You're welcome. I feel like singing. Oh, mine. All mine. Mine. That's how I feel. Whoop, whoop, bang. 50K in 50 days challenge. Bringing the spirituality to your business so that you can serve. And when you're serving, energy, giving and receiving, flowing energy, spiritual freedom, it is spiritual to allow money into your life. Because, yeah. Poverty consciousness versus prosperity consciousness. Which feels more spiritual to you? Robin says, I knew that your rating was a 9 today. So Robin says, for Spiritual Freedom Saturday, which the acronym for intentional living and the 7 freedoms is cheers to financial freedom. So the cheers to financial freedom is doing the work that you love in the world, having everything else in between, and having financial freedom. And we focus on banking 50K in 50 days. That's why we say banking 50K in 50 days. We do it vibrationally first, then we do it in the real world, physical world, build your spiritual business model so it feels like it's a success. So Robin rates SFS equals 9. So we rate our spiritual freedom, how connected we are feeling, between a 1 and 11. Now I have a spiritual vision board challenge, which I will share with you in the cards or in the description, which breaks down each of these areas, the 7 freedoms I call them for short, including spiritual freedom, and explains just what you think and feel about spirituality and how you can bring that into every area of your life, how you contribute in your health, in your emotions, in your relationships, in your environment, and in your finances. So Robin is rated, so we rate between a 1 and 11. So 1's like soul funk and 11 soul flow, like connected higher self, all things, guided by your soul, guided by the nudges, your intuition, all the things. So Robin's put a 9. So what would you rate your rating? If you've done the spiritual vision board challenge, this will make more sense. If you haven't, then just kind of go with your gut. or go with your vibe. For me, my rating is an 11. My rating, when we do our rating, and so Robin also has another rating on the Energy Healing TV podcast. Robin talks about rating how in alignment your chakras feel, like the flow, how in flow you feel, whether they feel blocked or overactive or just in flow, just like you feel free. So on the Energy Healing TV, it is brow chakra energy, or brow chakra, third eye chakra healing Saturdays. But the rating that Robin does is brow chakra energy, brow chakra energy Saturdays, and the rating is between 1 and 10. So my rating today, because I wasn't able to get on the live because I was doing my recording. Mine's a 10, Robin. So just to let you know that. And so what we do on the Soul Legacy TV is I go live every single Saturday and talk about spiritual freedom, right? What that means to you, how you want to journal in your spiritual journal about spiritual freedom, right? And so we look back at each week, and then we look, where were we vibing last Saturday? This is what I call intentional living, setting your intentions and then actually following through, and then coming back and saying, well, how did I feel this week? How did I feel today? How do I feel this month? How do I feel this year? Because when you go through a spiritual awakening, oftentimes, well, they say a dark night of the soul. Mine was a dark decade of the soul. Dude, I could have done with somebody every single Saturday saying, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? How are you coming along on your spiritual growth journey? Do you know what I mean? Like, dude, there was nobody. Not on a regular, like one-off videos. First thing that people come to is YouTube and articles to go, what the heck is happening to me? From my dark night of the soul, sort of spiritual awakening. I don't know if there's even one person on the planet that has gone through a dark night of the soul or a spiritual awakening who hasn't Googled it, read an article, or watched a YouTube video, right? And what I wanted to do is say, hey, dude, this is not a one-time occurrence. This is an ongoing process. So we look back from last Saturday, and if you weren't on last Saturday, make this your marker, and then set the intention for next Saturday to manage your vibration and bring the energy, the spiritual energy, your soul guidance into moment by moment, like into your day to day, not a spiritual practice in the morning and then not all through the day, not a spiritual altar that sits in a room where you're ignoring it and you're screaming and yelling at whoever or at yourself in your head, not like, well, I walked out in nature today, so that was half an hour, that's enough. We've all got 24 hours in a day. Even when we're sleeping, there's things going on spiritually. Sometimes people are doing all kinds of things out of the whatever, right? So it's 24/7, really, the spiritual freedom, to be honest. So we want to rate it, set the intention to bring more spirituality and more flow, more ease, grace, and flow in how you want to contribute. So for me, that spiritual freedom, being a spiritual YouTuber, is like, dude, I'm just going to show up, sit on my couch and talk to you, get my journal out and share how I'm feeling today, what my intuition is guiding me. Not scripted, as you can tell, not worrying, as you can tell. It is what it is. This is Iona Made, showing up raw and real, saying, hey, this is my experience. What was your experience? Let's have a conversation about it. That for me is a connecting soul to soul. So we want to do that. And then we want to bring more spirituality into our health. Intuitively, what we're putting in our bodies that we know we just really don't need to. Right? Like going to the shop and getting whatever. Our emotions, on the emotional scale, one being high vibe, emotion, Abraham Hicks is emotional scale, one being high vibe at the highest point of the scale, love vibrating at the energy and the feeling, emitting that feeling of freedom, having the vision of freedom, the value of freedom, and the vibration of freedom, and love and joy and empowerment and knowledge and all the things, versus number one, 22 on their scale, fear, victim, and powerlessness. And that's fine. But if we're living there and we're saying that we want to make such this difference in the world, then the first people to get a handle on is us, right? And your emotions, your environment, how does that feel to you? Does it feel gunky? Does it need clearing? Does it need energetically clearing? The energy, I was going to clap then because one of our soul sisters taught me how to clap and break up the stagnant energy in my room, which I haven't done for a little while, like clapping the corners. I remember watching YouTube videos on it and I didn't really get it, but yeah, I do now. Your relationships, are they feeling connected? Soul to soul connections and soul to soul conversations. I just don't do anything other than that. Soul client, soul family, soul tribe. Anything else that doesn't look and feel like that, be gone. Spirituality, how are you feeling about your spiritual? How are you feeling about your soul? How is your soul expressing in the world? And then how can you bring spirituality into your finances over this next week? So we have a vibrational money voucher. That's a way of just making money energy, because that is all it is. Brow chakra energy Saturdays. Thank you, Robin. Last week, Robin says, last week my spiritual freedom Saturday was 10. I was dipping in humanness this past week. Thank you. So that's brilliant. It's brilliant because you knew. So if your vibration, whatever it is, doesn't matter, 10, 11, 1, 2, whatever, like higher than 1, you don't get 0 because you're breathing. So whatever it is, whatever score it is, and say it was higher last week, but something happened in the week, during the week, whether it was on one day or more days, and you don't feel that connection, or you don't feel as in soul flow. And on the spiritual vision board challenge, I talk about the visible world, the human world, and trying not to get so sucked into it, and stepping back in that observer mode and witnessing your life through the lens of your soul. You're witnessing and you're experiencing through the lens of your soul, picking up the lessons, and not being as attached to certain outcomes, all the things. However, being human and experiencing as we are here to experience, it's that soul's expression is, there's things to clear, as Robin helps us clear, there's things to experience, there's contrast to be had that births rockets of desire, there's that duality, and it does make us dip. That's why the scale is there. It's like, how are you feeling? Okay, well, I'm feeling this way. Okay, well, what was my part to play in that? And kind of journal it out in my spiritual journal. And what do I envision myself doing, or how do I envision myself feeling if that situation ever arises, if that obstacle arises, if that challenge arises, if that circumstances arise, if it arises again? Because many times the lesson, as you'll know, comes back around full circle to meet us in the new place that we are at, or in the same place that we are at. So for us, it's about having that spiritual growth, having the tools, having the reflection, having the clearing, all the things to then meet whatever presents in a new way. So we have those patterns, we have those triggers, we have those repeat cycles. Oftentimes when we say that we're in a relationship, it's like it's the same pattern in a different person because it's us. Do you know what I mean? So that's what life is as well. So Rowan says the contrast keeps us from getting comfortable and stagnant. LOL. It does keep us from getting comfortable and stagnant. I like to have the comfortable, what we've said before about your uncomfortable comfort zone. And when you're growing, you're always up leveling, and you're always going to feel that level of discomfort. To a certain degree, if you are up leveling, and if you're regularly up leveling, and living an intentional life is regularly up leveling. But even when something feels like contrast one week, if it happens again another time, it doesn't feel as much like contrast because we've grown, if that makes sense. So there's that contrast of like, okay, well, I'll just pick up that lesson. That's there for our growth. When we have our spiritual vision boards and we think, yeah, everything's going to manifest. It's all going to be gravy to get me to this vision. And then it's like, why is everything collapsing? Why is everything going like completely wrong? And it's that contrast that is still supporting you on the journey. Roman says, exactly. All right. So let's do the quote for today. We'll do the card. So this is, no, that was last week's quote. This is the quote. The quote says, low self-esteem is like driving through, I actually wrote vision board next to it. I'm like, well, it's like a vision board. So low self-esteem, if you saw my writing, like literally my notes. So low self-esteem is like driving through life with the handbrake on. Low self-esteem is like driving through life with the handbrake on. That's a quote by Maxwell Maltz. I think it's called, I don't know, Maltz, I don't know. And if you've ever had low self-esteem, low confidence, all the lows, whatever it is, self-doubt, self-sabotage, whatever, all that is like driving through life with the handbrake on. As you're driving down this path, and I like to say taking the soul path of least resistance to doing your light work in your lifestyle. If you have all of the doubt, the fears, the self, whatever it is, it literally is like putting that handbrake on in your car, and then wondering why it's not going faster, why it's not going smoother, why it's noisy, why it's this, why it's that, and it's like why it feels this way, feels a different way. You're still going down the road. You're like, I'm doing it, aren't I? Look at me, I'm going. Well, really, just it's not even apply any pressure, blah blah blah. Just stop doing what you're doing. Release that of whatever you're doing. And Robin not actually shares how to release that handbrake, metaphorically, to take that soul path of least resistance clear in layers. But literally, even if it's up a notch, a handbrake actually has notches, because when you first learn to drive a car, and I don't know what you call it, a stick, right? So it's like you pull it up, it's like, no, it's actually got notches, right? So even if you get the picture, just stop doing it. Like, stop. Rory says, I feel that. It does. It's beautiful. So this Momentum app, and I don't know if you've got the Momentum app yet, Robin, but I say it every single day. So this was on my Momentum app. This is what gives me momentum every single day. It's really inspiring. Other people's words. I'm like, oh, wow. Momentum app it's a Google Chrome extension, and it has a screensaver update, and it asks you what you want to focus on, the one thing that you want to focus on each day, and it has a bunch of to-dos, and it has the links, and then it has this beautiful quote, and you get to see the time synchronicities, all the things. Robin says, yes, that emergency brake has notches, doesn't it? They're like, stop. When you're taught to do the emergency start, I'm like, this is not cool. All right, so card for today. Let's put this card jumped out, and every single day I'll pull a card. Robin, actually not. Robin says, no, I don't have the app anymore. I had it on my desktop, but my desktop was actually acting wonky. Or was it? Do you think it was because of the app? It's a beautiful app. It helps you. Well, anyway, but yeah, I love it. So Krishna, this is the card that I pulled from Keepers of the Light by Cal Gray. I don't, can he just trying to, it's like, hold it straight. And your hands go the mirror opposite of where the card is. You see the card? This jumped out today. Keepers of the Light. Krishna, devotion. Listen to this. So every single day on the Soul Legacy TV, I pull the Keepers of the Light card. I explained yesterday on Relationship Freedom Friday why I pulled the card, why I was drawn to the card, and I'll probably tell the story again. I'm not going to say it again today. So it says, trust your spiritual guidance. So every freedom, every time I pull a card, it's like, oh, today. So this is for me and this is for you. Let me know if it resonates. Let me know in the comments if it resonates. Bear in mind, it's Spiritual Freedom Saturday, okay? I've been harping on about spiritual stuff. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Robin, you're going to love that, right? You are loved unconditionally. Robin says it's odd to adjust in front of the camera. It's like, all right. It's like, which way? It's like, you moving the way I want you to. I'm not a card puller, right? Reader, blah, blah, blah. I'm just not. However, it's beautiful. I do love that. I thought you might. All right. Trust your spiritual guidance. I'm going to read the card, okay? I'm just laying back, relaxing. I'll sit up. So rude. You're invited in my living room. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Krishna is a Hindu god who is known as Mahavatar, or yeah, I think it's Mahavatar, great avatar, and embodies divine wisdom. I'm just leaning back again, I can feel it. One of India's best loved gods. He is an approachable, kind, loving, and supportive guide. He is a peaceful being with a great love for all people and animals. I'm literally thinking of the comfort of my sofa. I've been sat up recording a lot of time. He is often depicted with a calf or a lamb, which is a symbol of innocence, and a peacock feather on his head, which is said to honor the divine feminine. Okay. Peacock feather on his head. I didn't even know it was a peacock feather. I love when the peacocks fan out. Which is said to honor the divine feminine. He was the spiritual guide of the warrior soul Arjuna, as related in the Hindu epic. I can't say it. Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, Gita. I have a dyslexia. I haven't butchered so much in ages. I apologize. Which really is a story of choosing love over fear, and helps us move beyond the limitations and walls our ego creates in our mind. Exactly, choose love over fear, because love is at the highest vibration, as I mentioned, and love is at the highest vibration, and fear is at the lowest. Love over fear every time. Maybe even in the world around us, that we're creating this war and ego in our mind. He's the twin flame of Radha. Extended message: you have a deep spiritual connection and must trust, the guidance that's coming through. Your devotion to the spiritual path has been recognized. It may feel as if you've been on a mental and emotional battlefield, but there are sweet messages of hope around you now. Can't get an amen. Yay! Yay us! Krishna is here to boost your sense of connection to the divine and encourage you to act from your soul. So Robin, when you've dipped, or anybody else that's dipped, this is for you. So I'm going to read that again. Your devotion to the spiritual path has been recognized. It may feel as if you've been on a mental/emotional battlefield, but there are sweet messages of hope around you now. Krishna is here to boost your sense of connection to the divine and encourage you to act from your soul. If a decision needs to be made, ask yourself what will honor your soul and those around you. If you can choose the best for all involved, then you will feel even closer to the divine. Kind of get an amen. Robin gives an amen. Thank you. Beautiful. That's deep. That's deep, and it's perfect for spiritual freedom. So if you want to rewind me, then rewind me. It's absolutely fine. What I want to do is I'll do gratitude in a second. I'm going to talk about the book that I read today, and then I'm going to do the vibrational money voucher. So the book that I read today, again, is called, I listened to it actually, not for long. It's called Your Psychic Pathway, Listening to the Guiding Wisdom of Your Soul by Sonia Choquette. Have you heard of her? She's a Hay House author, I believe. And so she says about being psychic. And so that card says, act from, what's it say? Act from. Let me just pull that back in. Act from your soul. Encourage you to act from your soul. So with the Soul Legacy TV, launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy, and bringing in the daily rituals and routines that support you from acting from your soul. To act from your soul, you'd be like, really? But when you're looking at the world through the lens of your soul, that is acting from your soul, because you see the world through a different lens, a purer lens, a love lens, right? And so in the book, Sonia Choquette, I said this last week that I just listened to a couple of sentences, and I got what I needed, and I heard it again. It must have just clicked rewind for a 30 seconds or so. And it says, perceive from the soul. Perceive from the soul, act from the soul, perceive from the soul. When you perceive from the soul, you're going to act from the soul. And I think that's what you meant, Robin, when you were talking on your live, that you was caught in the humanness. That's why you've actually like, where am I really vibing? I'm not perceiving from the soul. I'm not acting from the soul in this moment. Not for maybe as long as before, but even in those moments, it's like, I know that I can do better at expressing myself in those moments. So Sonia Choquette says that she'd been teaching this since she was 14, don't know how old she is now. And she says it's the psychic awakening. And some people don't notice, some people ignore it. The little subtle musings, the bright ideas, the sense of knowing is natural, but sometimes we just don't listen to it. We don't listen to that soul guidance, we ignore it. Like Binnit, that voice, that intuition, that knowing. And so she tells the story of that her mum, and where she believes that she got that psychic ability and that sense of knowing and that listening. And so Sonia Choquette's mum was a little girl in a war. And basically, I wrote some notes, but basically the story is that soldiers were coming to bomb, and everybody, all the family were just just scrambling together to get supplies and get on these set of 3 trucks and get out of there. And she said that she was watching her mum, which would have been Sonia Choquette's grandma, on one truck, and so they were separated. And her mum was like, I don't know, 12 at the time, something like that. And they went on this long journey, as a child, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there was bombing and she was cut off from that. And then she had to go to concentration camps, blah, 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 blah. I'm saying blah, blah, blah because I don't know all of the details. I can't remember all the details, and I don't want to get into a heavy situation, but it wasn't. She said everybody was like, we're going to die, blah, blah, blah. And were around her. And as a little girl, she was like detached from the moment and stuck on this seat. And so there were women that were saying, come with us, come into the field. And when everybody was saying, oh, we're going to die, she listened. There was a voice that said, not you, not now. Not you, not now. Something like that. I wrote it down, but not you, not now, that voice. And it said, pay attention. So they were in the fields, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they got caught. They had to be handed in. And when she was traveling, the guards were not looking, and that voice again came and said, jump. So she grabbed a friend, she jumped, they survived. But this is like time. And then more time went on, and a similar situation happened anyway. By the time that, like a few years on, that she got handed in again, the rules had changed and she got put into like a kitchen to work. Then the situation came around again, and again the guard wasn't looking, and she jumped. And then she was fine, obviously, because she had her daughter. But she had that sense of knowing, not you, not now, pay attention. And she said it was that her mum passed down. Maybe it was just a mantra, maybe it was a denial, maybe it was a voice, maybe it was intuition, whatever it was. She just had that inner sense that it was chaos around her, and she just went within. And sometimes we don't go within. We see the chaos, we see what other people are doing, and we jump on the bandwagon and kind of go off kicking and screaming, which you would in that kind of situation. It's understandable, right? But when we do trust that in knowing and that voice, I'm not saying it's going to save your life, or what have you. When it's your time, but or whatever. Do you know what I mean? In that circumstances, you can beg to differ if it's your time, whatever. But it's listening to that, acting and perceiving from the soul. The soul doesn't live in the space of fear. It guides you to have this human experience. Sometimes people might say, well, you're listening to the voice in your head, it's mind chatter. but it's a different voice, it's a different knowing, it's a different sense, it's a different nudging. It's that, you know, it for me anyway, it's that guidance, that ease, grace and flow that I feel as I'm going forward. And she said that her mum would felt the energy of the people around her. She knew when the guards were coming, so she would step back. She would feel that energy. And she knew when food was coming, like a positive energy, she would step forward. And all the people, she learned to know who to trust through the energy and the feeling of it. It's just a really beautiful story. If you haven't listened to your psychic pathway, listening to the guiding wisdom of your soul is such a beautiful book. And I haven't listened to as much. I've listened to it on just before I've come on the live. Well, this morning I listened to it, but I will listen to more. I want to listen to it and share it. But I usually just listen for hours on Audible books when I'm walking, when I'm running. I've been listening to music lately, so I haven't listened to as much, but just any kind of book that's going to support your spiritual practice, go back and have a look on your bookshelf of the book that nudged you. Do you know what I mean? And write in your journal, write in your spiritual journal how it affected you, how it supported you on your spiritual growth. Robin says, yes, exactly. When I perceive from the soul, I'm in observer mode. And we're learning that even more as Robin and I have formed this joint vision partnership and this soul sisterhood and this friendship way across the world, because soul has no boundaries, right? Love has no boundaries. And I want to say thank you, Robin, because just even saying that, Robin we speak every single day privately, and we've just been on this journey and learning about observer mode and just supporting each other through life circumstances when life does happen, when you're building your spiritual businesses, you're doing, you know, your spiritual YouTube channel. It doesn't mean to say life doesn't happen, right? And that light work and that lifestyle balance is always easy. But when you've got somebody there with you along the journey that gets it, because I was a lonely light worker, right? People thought I was crazy. People still probably think I'm crazy, but I'm out as a light worker, right? And so Robin sent me love. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday. But when she sent it, I felt it. Yesterday. I felt it. And I was like, wow, it made me teary. I literally felt that energy. I was like, wow. I sometimes feel when say I've had a client or I've had a student or I've had a conversation or I've had something, and they'll send me a message or they'll speak, and I'm feeling tears. I feel the energy. One time I felt the words. I'm like, what? I actually messaged a soul sister and I said, did you say this around this time, like in her own head or out loud? I was miles away from her. I don't live in the same place. We're not on a call. And she said, yeah. I was like, wow, I heard it. I heard her say it. So I've never experienced anything like it. But yeah, thank you, Robin. Souls know. I'm just saying, souls know. Robin says, in humanness, I need to react to emotions. Right. So you explain about the human emotions and the feeling and the intuition, right? Robin said it's beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? When you can literally feel the energy across all time and space. That's just gonna make me cry again. Anyway. Yeah, it is beautiful. Right, we're going to do the Bank 50K 50 Day Challenge with the vibrational money voucher after we do gratitude, because gratitude is just beautiful, isn't it? When we are grateful and we appreciate. And Robin, I know that you say gratitude every single day, but I don't know if you've done this already, because you do the gratitude and the clearing and all the things. But for anyone who has dipped in their vibration, you can let me know what your SFS is, Spiritual Freedom Saturday vibration is. As we grow the network, is going to be beautiful to see that. So the vibration, I was going to say something, I was leading to somewhere and I forgot. So the vibration, how we do, can't remember, the gratitude, or whether you've done this or not, Robin, I don't know. But if you vibe lower, I'll get to the point. I'm sorry, not sorry. Then speak the gratitude into it, basically, is what I would say. And pull out the appreciation. So the way that I say gratitude, this is I share this every single day, but I'm going to share it. I'm going to keep sharing it every single day. This is my gratitude stone. Now I hold it. It's just a trigger, just something that just is a focus and it centers me, and grounds me, and I'm feeling it, right? And so you can hold yourself, whatever you want to do. I like hugs. Hug yourself. Do you hug yourself? I hug myself. I love my daughter's hugs. My hug then just felt like my daughter's hug. So my daughter had given me this gratitude stone. I first learned about gratitude stones when I watched The Secret movie, and I think that's the first place that many people heard about it. And it's not actually a gratitude stone, it's just a stone, but mine's a love heart one, so it's special. My daughter gave it to me, and we used to say gratitude and pass it around the family, pass it around my kids. And then I've done gratitude with partners in the past, and it's just really nice to speak in, so I call it soul speaking into existence. Sharing with the universe, it's spiritual freedom. So it's the energy, words have energy, our vibration matters. So when we do the spiritual vision board challenge, and we're thinking of the things that we want to manifest, saying gratitude in advance and emitting the vibration of the experiences, and I don't just mean things, I mean the experiences, the relationships that we want to have. We emit gratitude for the things that we have now. It's not just that journey of getting more. We actually sit in the space of, hey, I'm okay, I'm really great in this moment, and whatever happens and whatever arises, as Matt Kahn says, I'm gonna love that. So the way that I do gratitude, I say some people say I don't have anything to, I can't think of anything to be grateful for right now in this present moment, like my life sucks or what have you, but we don't get out of it. So we say, if you can't think of anything in the present moment, which I'm sure you can, you would think of something from the past, something from the present, and something from the predicted future. So thanks in advance, something that's you want to manifest that's on your spiritual vision board. And the way that I do gratitude is bringing in the 7 freedoms. So this is Spiritual Freedom Saturday on the SoulLegacyTV and the Soul Legacy Academy, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. I have 7 freedoms that we focus on every single week. So we anchor those in. So contribution freedom, the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency acronym stands for contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. We don't leave any of them out. That's 7 areas of your life that you bring in every single day and say that you're grateful. So you can use this as your spiritual journal prompts to say, I'm happy. This is what I say. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And you can think of, you can write it down or just soul speak it into existence, something from the present, something from the past, or something from the predicted future. You can go as deep as you want to, in your contribution freedom. Could be the same thing as last week, the same thing as yesterday, doesn't matter what it is. Contribution freedom, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something for your health. That could be next spiritual journal prompt. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something for your emotions. Even if, like Robin had experienced a dipping in emotions, I'm happy and I'm grateful to experience that, because now the flip side of that is what, right? So you're still happy and grateful to experience it and witness it within yourself, because the thing that is underneath it is the thing that you're going to heal. So even if it's a tough thing that you're happy and you're grateful and you can appreciate it, then it doesn't actually give it power anymore over you. Or it might not be the emotion, it might be the experience that you've had after it. There's a clearing, there's an opening, there's an opportunity, there was a block, and actually you've got something different. You're a different version of you on the other side. Happy and grateful and appreciate something within your environment. Write that down in your spiritual journal so you've got it to come back to the next week on Spiritual Freedom Saturday, and you can see how your spiritual freedom frequency is growing and is you're emitting and you're vibrating in the miracles and manifesting. Happy and grateful for something in your relationship, happy and grateful and appreciate something for your spiritual growth, happy and grateful and appreciate something for your finances. Even if your finances are low, then still be happy and grateful. Like, I just bought some wine and I just flicked a card and that was it. Like, there's so much, it's great. So let's do the vibrational money voucher to wrap this up. So thank you for staying with me. Robin says, I'm literally like, okay, I would like a drink. Usually I drink water and I'm like, okay, I can drink, I'll have some wine. So Robin says, yes, I use the energy of gratitude to help transmute the icky energy, to help pull me up out of the soul funk. Brilliant. I thought you did anyway, because Robin does a journaling practice every single day, and the clearing of resistance. Robin says the stone holds the energy you give and share with it. So it actually is a gratitude stone. I know that. But I mean, yeah, thank you, Robin. It is a gratitude stone. I cleared it actually the other day. It's my gratitude stone. I'm really super grateful even for the stone, right? And it does hold the energy, and they hold their own energy as well, right? But when somebody's like, well, it's just a stone, because some people do that, don't they? It's just a stone. Well, it's my gratitude stone, and it does hold the energy. So thank you. So we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, woo, woo, with the vibrational money voucher. If you are in the Soul Legacy Academy, I have a soul income game, and I have a success board for the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. So if you're watching in the Soul Legacy Academy and you are one of my boot campers, you'll get that as a bonus, and I'll talk about that on the masterclass, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, where we bank 50K in 50 days in the visible world. But today we're going to do it in the vibrational world. Robin says, woo! All right, yay! So I made this game up. It was inspired by a prosperity game by Abraham Hicks, Jerry and Esther Hicks, and also Frederick Lerman in the book called The Prosperity Consciousness. So the Soul Income game, or the Soul Legacy Journal, gives you a vibrational money voucher. Work with me and pretend, and just go with it. So a vibrational money voucher, right? So you're banking 50K in 50 days. The challenge is to do it for 50 days, right? So yes, you are focusing on money every single day, but watch how you do it if you're new to me. So the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros, or wherever you are, whatever currency you have in the world to use. And look, my hand's itching. I'm going to get some money, I'm telling you. I'm loving it. So, and I'm doing my Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge for real, back to back, every single day, as I put my spiritual business out there, and Robin's doing it as well. And if you have money blocks and you're like, I don't want to bank 50K in 50 days, I don't want to focus on money. Money blocks is what I've got to say to you. And Robin's got a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge. And she says it's a self-love journey to financial freedom for empaths and light workers, for real. Thoughts, feelings around money, old stories, new stories. That's what we want to tell ourselves. So yes, you do want to focus on money every single day, because in the physical, we need money to pay our bills, and we need money for experiences. And with the Soul Income game, you can actually tithe 10%. You can tithe more if you're like, do you know what? I only need the 10%. I'm going to tithe 90%. There's plenty of worthy causes that you can use money as a vessel through you, serve, provide a service, receive the money, tithe 90%. Great. You're here and you can make such a difference in the world. So I don't want to hear, oh, the money's not important, because that's just a story of lack and a poverty consciousness. And we're not here for that. We're here to transition to a prosperity consciousness. So nobody's ever said it, but I don't want to hear, I feel like I need to say it, I don't want to hear the money's not important, because it's a story. The money is important. Tithe 90% then. Anyway, so you tithe 10% to a worthy cause, rant for no apparent reason. Right, I'm sure that somebody will probably say something. So this is for you if you're watching on the replay, because I get views when it's like, when I'm not here. Probably don't watch all the video, but if you do, I'm just saying. So, and if it's not you, we're all good. So if you type 10% to a worthy cause, my worthy cause is cruise bereavement care, right? So I type 10% every single day. So it's £100, £100 for me. Because my son made his transition 7 years ago. That was one of my spiritual awakenings. I've had multiple. That was a dark night of the soul and a half. And I want to give back. So you do it vibrationally first, and then when you bank 50K in 50 days for real, and you give it in the visible world. For people that are supporting people, Yes, it's a voluntary thing, but they need donations. People need donations. And some people go, I don't want to tithe because people don't use the money for what it's, create your own then. I don't know, whatever. So just, I don't know, like, I'll give me the camera. I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm feeling that. I don't know why, because I don't normally. But tithe 10% to a worthy cause. My son's probably playing with me, like, Mum. And then, you get to you don't get to pay bills with it, because you come from the vibration of, I've got the money, all my bills are paid, I am a successful spiritual business owner, and all my bills are paid. See, focusing on the money, so you've got financial freedom for a year, all bills are paid, all holidays are paid, all whatever's paid, whatever, right? All your utility is paid. And then you make memories with money. Make memories with money. How many memories can you make? People say, oh, money's evil, just make memories. See if you can have random acts of kindness with it. See if you can have kindness for yourself. See if you can replace, I don't know, this is what came to mind, holy socks in your wardrobe or holy underwear. Buy a matching set. I don't know. I remember when I went through a really messy divorce, like 4 years of a messy divorce, I wore my ex-husband's socks for like 3 years. We were a completely different size. Don't ask me why. I didn't actually go and buy a pair of socks, but I did have enough money at points in that time to go get socks at the very bare minimum. Then I got in a relationship with somebody else, and I still wore my ex-husband's socks. And he didn't go, hey, I'll get you some socks. I don't even know why. You know when you just get stuck in pants? Anyway, vibrational money voucher. Spend it, make memories, right? And if you don't want to spend it every single day of the 50 days, then you can carry it over to the next day or the next day, but you can't carry it over beyond that week of Financial Freedom Sunday. So Monday to Sunday, I share every single day. And then on Financial Freedom Sundays, I will share what I've spent my vibrational money voucher on, which will be tomorrow. I'll spend it on experiences that are on my vision board so that I can feel the experience of that now. I then don't have any money worries. I don't have to think about, oh, well, I want to do a retreat in Thailand. I don't have the money. Yeah, I do. I have vibrational money, baby. And I can book a flight whenever I like. I'm just saying. So, Robin says, clear those money blocks, DM straight. Robin says, stressing over the lack of money is not allowing love for self. Yeah, exactly. Financial freedom is self-love. Yes, thank you, Iona. You're welcome. Robin says, we can definitely give more when we have more. 100%. Isn't that beautiful? So do you love the vibrational money voucher? Do you love the soul income game? And it is a game. And the idea of the game is to make it feel like it's just an energy exchange. So if you love that and you're like, actually, I can feel into that. Like, let me just play this game. It's only a game. The idea is to shift your vibration around it. If it feels icky, like you need to do it even more so. And so if you want to learn how to do it in the visible world, how to build a spiritual business that would allow for you to contribute in the way that you really want to, in the price points that you really want to, and receive that energy of money in exchange, fair energy exchange, so that you can support your health, you can support your emotions, and just not worry it and sleep at night, sleep well, right? Not worrying and stressing. That's not emotional freedom. And it's not health freedom if you're not eating what you want to do, eating organically or growing vegetables in your garden and paying a gardener because you don't have the time to do it, but you're actually eating organic and eating, do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, the experiences that you want to experience, your environment, if you want to travel, like literally, why would you not want to travel and see the world? That costs money. It really does. In the home that you want to live in, that you want to up level or repair or whatever it is, like, I'm just saying that it's just a beautiful experience when we allow that. So if you want to learn to do that and build a spiritual business that allows for all of those things and the financial freedom, loving you more and loving those around you, and actually launching, leading and leaving a legacy that doesn't mean lack, like passing on the energy of lack and passing on the legacy of lack. I want to leave my daughter money and my granddaughter money. My son's not here to look after my granddaughter. That feels like to me that I need the money for that, right? And so on the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass. I'll leave the information in the description down below and in the pinned comments. And you can attend the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. I will share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your soul clients, one-to-many soul clients with ease, grace, and flow, create passive income streams, write your best-selling book, create your course around your book, create a YouTube podcast, all the things that you've got on your mind, like, and you're like, do you know what? I would love to build a successful spiritual business online and do it on YouTube. Then I'm going to share with you how to do that. So I have my book, which you can have a free chapter for my book. It's called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and your lifestyle on YouTube. This is what we're doing. This is part of the book. Right? I have a 5-day YouTube from Scratch challenge, which shows you how to start your YouTube channel, grow your YouTube channel around your book, around your author and your authority platform. I have a free chapter VIP day that shows you how to start, grow, and structure, again, your successful online spiritual business on YouTube and launch it with a #1 best-selling book. My book went to #1 on pre-order on Amazon because that is how I roll. I have the book series, it's called the Soul Legacy Journal, Spiritual Awakening Stories of 365. If you would like to submit a story into my book series, it launches on the 6th of May annually each year. Then you can submit a story to submissions@SoulLegacyAcademy.com. Again, the information will be in the cards and in the description, pinned comments on the Soul Legacy TV down below. And that is for my boot campers. I'm gifting a spot in the page if you're a soul match, only if you're a soul match, and only if the book series is still running. By the time you see that, it's 7 years as of now, so I don't know. And Masterminders get up to 5 pages, again, if they're a soul match, because we want to have the right stories in the book, all right? Robin says, exactly like you said, even good health costs money, doesn't it? And you were saying the other day about health insurance and different things, like we don't have that here, but we still have to pay taxes and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. Health, basic human needs cost money. It's part of our life, and that's okay. 100%. Like, who made it bad? Anyway, Robin says #1 bestseller on pre-order. Boom. Exactly. Boom and boom. So that is it. I think I said everything. Oh, and I'm the host of the #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, where I interview fellow spiritual YouTubers on their spiritual awakening story. And we have the Spiritual Ascension after show party and the Spiritual Alchemy giveaway. I have my book launch videos as I write my book. Obviously, I've said it was on pre-order for a year, and then you can order it. And if it's on order now, it's going to be $5.55. So do that. I'll leave all of the information around this video. I love you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Robin, you are amazing. Thank you for supporting me. I love you. And I shall see you guys for Financial Freedom Sunday. Thank you for sharing with us, supporting us. Love you billions. Love you billions. Mwah. Love you. Take care.